Hello everyone, welcome to the video of the Module 2 on the ESCP case study. My name is Charlotte Tréger, I'm a PhD student and a research associate at the ESCP. I am also the local coordinator of the Moonlight project. It is a great pleasure for me to present you the scenarios that we have developed over the last years within our school. In our work, we explore how the use of online learning can support refugees and students to have access to the labor market and higher education. Specifically at the ESCP, we look at different scenarios that support refugees and students' skills development via existing MOOCs and their access to our institution. Therefore, I'm going to present you the scenarios and their outcomes.
First, I will show you the conceptualization of 4 different scenarios on which the Moonlight Consortium agreed on. Second, I will present you the organizational context of the ESCP. Third, I will show you the scenarios and implemented pathways of the ESCP. And finally, I will share with you the outcomes and key learnings. These figures show the 4 possible scenarios to enhance the social inclusion and employability of students and refugees. The first scenario aims at using online learning to enhance the progression of registered students. This first scenario can be found on the left side and on the top in this orange box. The second scenario aims at using online learning to enhance skills of refugees and or other individuals and facilitate their access to the higher educational institution. The third scenario aims at using online learning to enhance skills of refugees and other individuals and facilitate their access to the labor market. ESCP is a state-recognized academic institution according to the German law. It is part of ESCP Europe, a transnational school of higher education with campuses in Germany, France, Great Britain, Italy, and Spain. Established in 1819, ESCP Europe is the world's oldest business school and has educated generations of leaders and entrepreneurs. ESCP Europe, through European identity, enables the provision of a unique style of cross-cultural business education and a global perspective on international management issues. Through a combination of innovative pedagogy, cross-campus programs with integrated curricula, and a research-active faculty, ESCP Europe is an essential contributor to the development of a European cross-national management culture. The activities of ESCP faculty members reach across 3 domains: teaching, research, and academic program leadership. Besides, ESCP increasingly supports transversal research conducted with non-management disciplines, facilitated by its academic alliances and partner universities. In 2015, ESCP launched its New Cultures for Business, or C4B, strategy designed to develop a new generation of international and transnational business leaders who can understand and embrace the opportunities offered by cultural diversity. Finally, in the last 4 years, ESCP has increased its offer of online learning via the development of massive open online courses. Together with Professor Markus Bick, local academic director of the Bachelor in Management, we explored 2 scenarios to support refugees and students. The first scenario aims at recognizing the prior knowledge acquired by refugees via a MOOC-based teaching program in order to support their access to the ESCP Bachelor program. Several meetings with refugee support organizations took place to develop the scenario to make sure that we meet the needs of the refugees. Sources of fundings to cover tuition fees and the cost of living in the different European cities where refugees will have to study during their program at the ESCP were analyzed. A system of assessment of acquired skills and a selection process were developed. However, the ESCP Bachelor program requires living on 3 different campuses in Europe during schooling, which leads to significant costs and requires student mobility that refugees cannot provide. A second scenario aimed at using MOOCs for the progression of ESCP students were explored. 1 MOOC should be used for language learning and 1 MOOC for the course of humanities. 5 MOOCs have been identified that should be used for these 2 courses. However, the MOOCs could not be used because they were not running any longer or were not available during the bachelor semesters. In addition, important fees were related to their dues, and no easy registration could be made possible for the students and avoid individual registration. No other MOOCs corresponded with the learning outcomes and responded to the expectation of professors. Therefore, we will report on 2 successful pathways that have been implemented at the ESCP since September 2017 using online courses for the progression of their own students. This corresponds to the first scenario that have been shown in this presentation that were on the orange box at the beginning. Between September 2017 and June 2018, 300 students of the bachelor program were learning languages through a blended learning teaching method. For this purpose, an online language learning method were used, offering listening, understanding, and pronunciation exercises. Additionally, a form has been implemented to support interactions between students. Language learning is crucial at the ESCP because the students study in different countries and partly in the language of the country. The language teachers who were involved in this learning experience have integrated and used online learning for general language teaching in the classroom. In total, students were learning about 12 hours in class and about 20 to 30 hours via the online platform. Combining online and classroom learning simultaneously allows the teacher to assess students' progress during class time. In addition, an assessment of progress is made via the online platform that generates a grade based on student achievement over there. Furthermore, a final test prepared by the teacher in class has the purpose to assess the final language level for every student. The overall grade for the course is made up by 50% of the final grade of the student, and the score generated by the platform represented 30% of this final score. The last 20% are based on student attendance and oral participation. Now I'd like to share with you a testimonial of a professor from another university about the use of blended learning teaching method in the classroom. Professor Blaženka Divjak from the University of Zagreb had shared her experience in the framework of the Moodline webinar.
Let me explain the case study. So it is a study at the University of Zagreb, the Faculty of Informatics, and study of information system and software engineering, and the course is discrete mathematics and graph theory. So in this course we enroll full-time but also part-time students, approximately 100 students per year. And because of the fact that we have full-time students, so on-campus students and part-time students, there are sometimes difficult for part-time students to follow requirements of the course. So altogether, the course has 7 ECTS credits, and also there are 7 or 8 learning outcomes. And here you can see the 2 learning outcomes that are related to MOOCs.
If you want to learn more about Blaženka Divjak's experience with blended learning teaching method, you can go on the website below where you will have access to the whole webinar. The second implemented pathway, also in accordance with the scenario 1 of the figure I presented you at the beginning of this presentation, was entirely based on online teaching, and Professor Martin Kopp, Professor of Entrepreneurship at ESCP Europe, taught the Digital Transformation course as part of an online master's program called EMIB, Executive Master in International Business. The EMIB program is a paid master program with the prerequisite for teachers to develop their own course. Approximately 50 hours of work are expected by the teacher to create this online course. The teacher himself was responsible for moderating the e-learning. Student progress was evaluated bi-weekly, and individual or group comments were given by the teacher. 20 students of various profiles participated in this course. The first pathway has successfully reached 300 learners. However, the feedbacks of the language teacher were not exclusively positive. The teacher would like to have more influence on the choice of online learning materials and tools for the students. They reported difficulties to integrate the online tool in the regular classroom-based teaching for several reasons. The online courses were too standardized and therefore could not be adapted for their specific audience. For instance, French was taught in the same way to an Italian and Chinese student, both having no prior knowledge on French language, but coming from different language families generate different learning problems when learning a new language. The students were satisfied with the opportunity to learn online, but rated the platform as not enough interactive nor entertaining. This pathway is now being revised by the teaching staff and management board of the ESCP in order to improve it by finding other online means to address students' needs in language development and integrate them in the classroom-based teaching. In the second pathway, 20 students successfully participated in this online learning experience. Specifically for professional students, the online teaching format was very convenient, as most of them worked in companies and parallel to their work they wanted to develop their competence in international business and obtain a diploma, so they could learn at their own pace. The students reported good feedbacks about the content and the pace of the course. However, Martin Cup reported on some challenges, for instance, getting a good sense of the overall atmosphere and also getting a sense if the pace is right. He shared some recommendation to build an online course, try to be creative, to engage, to switch formats, and also integrate a wide range of content. I hope that you can learn from our experience in developing scenarios for refugees and students, and also from the implemented pathway to use online learning for the progression of students at the ESCP. Thank you very much.